The history of the DenoxSeries, 2009 timeline. Hello YouTube, this is DenoxSeries speaking once again, and welcome to part 2 of the history of the DenoxSeries. In this video, I will cover all the events that has happened to the DenoxSeries in 2009. A lot sure has happened that year than in 2008, so sit tight, grab some popcorn, and let's begin. Starting 2009, I have made a New Year's video special showing me with the hat spending it with the family. I even gave a small flashback of all the video I have made in the previous year, so here's a recap. Around the same time, I did a pretty poor review of Donkey Kong for the Game Boy. Please take a look.
The first stage, as you see Donkey Kong's taking the princess as you start the game right away. The first 4 levels are based on the original Donkey Kong.
I really have to remake this review greatly. Next up was my Daily Havoc character info. Yes, other than Hoshanto, Daily Havoc was my romance genre. I won't get too much into detail, but let's just say the story revolves around a male protagonist that is the only person in town that is single and dateless. I also did a series of rants in January such as Choice Cable. Wow, funny that I ranted about that almost 7 years ago now, and I'm still using their services. They did redeem themselves at least. The thing is about Choice Cable that Choice Cable has a lot of glitches. And I mean a lot. Call me a hypocrite twice, but I also rented on the DSi. 1 year later, I own one and I loved it at the time. And guess what? I still own it to this day because of the Ace Card 2i. DS game looks best there than the 3DS and for my collection. I also ranted on failed relationships and professors that are so bad that sometimes you're better off teaching yourself what you love instead of depending on someone else to teach you. One of them is with the same professor that doesn't know how to teach nothing. Yes, still in January, I showcased a storyline for a game I was thinking of making called Denox MX. Then now I realize how generic it is, so I never touched it afterwards. I also auditioned for a character for Disguise Miracles anime that she wanted to start animating for on YouTube. The series was called Susgaru. She even did a fan art of my Hoshanto fan art contest back in December 2008.
Do I have to do it now? Oh, what a pain in the butt.
I have no connection with her whatsoever anymore, but if you ever watched this Disguise Miracle, thank you for the opportunity.
Kyoko, I'm gonna help you get out of your cage. Kyoko, I'm gonna help you get out of your cage, okay? Alberto doesn't deserve to be alone or sad. Nito used to be my owner, but after seeing what he did to him, he's nothing but a greedy man wanting revenge.
A fan art contest where you draw, just the way I look like right now, in your own style, in your own ways. Speaking of fan art contests just now, I opened a new one in February 2009, and guess what it is? Yes, that's right, people were given the opportunity to make a fan art of me, and I will give them a shout out to everyone who participated. There were a couple of good ones I encountered like Snickers009, another female fan of mine who enjoys drawing digital arts. I had quite a few of those kind of fans those days, huh? Moving on are more game reviews. I reviewed both the Game Boy Advance and the PS2 version of the Bible game, and back then, I would no doubt say that the PS2 is the far superior version. 2 Bomberman game reviews also happened in the same month as well. Now you can see how active I was already in 2009. Once again, one version was awesome and the other was crap. Bomberman DS, at the time that is, and yet another poorly made game review. I'm very sorry. What the heck is going on with this game? But either way, this game really sucks. Yeah, I don't think this game was as bad as I said to be back then. That same month, I was tagged to make a tag video. I saw many of these type of videos on YouTube back in the day, and I wanted to be tagged. So thank you so much Prince Erwin, or should I say King Erwin now, for tagging me in this video back then. I said 5 facts about myself which I won't go in detail. Maybe I will upload this and many more you see if you wish as a Denox classic. I also have to tag 5 people to do the same as well. And guess what, by the time February arrived, I already made 50 videos on my Alberto Abeco channel, so it was time for my 50th video special as well. The 50th video special I did was a tribute of all the YouTubers that inspired me to make videos at the time. So Kyle-san, Ninensei18, JGamerFan, and many more. Thanks once again. One more review was made by me in the month of February. Oh yeah, it just doesn't end, does it? This video was my review on a homebrew art application that lets you make your own drawings on your Nintendo DS called Colors. Moving on to March 2009, I should mention 2 rant videos I made that month that many people were hating on me, and with good reason. One of them was a rant about a YouTuber called Super Savage 999. I criticized him for the poor video quality he put on his channel and mocking him as well.
Which is actually pretty good, but I'm talking about all these random videos you make. And you showing the pictures like you are showing really quick and so blurry that people will not even notice the drawings. It's not showing the correct way. You're just moving the camera all over the place.
I did apologize to Super Savage 999 a few days after I uploaded that video. He was really upset. I did have good intentions to point out his mistakes and how he can improve his video, but I guess I took it too far. I had to delete that video afterwards because the hate was real in that video. Also, a rant I did of me complaining of me being the only Puerto Rican YouTuber out there. Now I realized that I was complaining of being unique, and there were other Puerto Rican YouTubers out there, like Chechi. Now let's go over quick the other videos I made in March 2009. My review on the Asumanga Dial fighting game, which was crazy and loved at the same time. The return of Natty Rock, which was supposed to be the first part of this new series, but part 2 of the same video was never created since she barely had time for those again. And plus the last time we ever saw her making a video appearance in the DenoxSeries videos. If you notice, I recorded that video in the Inter-American University I used to attend to. Well, one more video was made in the same college, and it was me showing off art in my pants I used to do for an art project. Sure, it was fun and crazy too. I also did a video supporting an art animation works from a YouTube user called Bukaru with Gear C's he was working on. Plus my tutorial of how to use Windows Movie Maker. Yuck, like that will last much longer. Now to April 2009. I have reached 100 subscribers in my Abotua Beko channel, almost the same time as Blackbuster Critic reached that amount. Crazy, right? And now he far surpassed me in popularity afterwards, so yeah. So I had my beard growing in that video and also showcasing all the subscribers I had during that time that supported my videos unto this point. Now let's talk a bit about SS Gushin 4. We made a co-op rant video that month, talking how much TV sucks nowadays at the time. Also, do you remember when I talked about Internet 2 in the last part of this series? Well, a year later around April, she made her own video about Internet 2 as well, after I requested her months later. She is a Dragon Ball figures reviewer, and still to this day, since she talked to me about wanting to make rant videos as well and telling her fans to suggest her rants to do, I decided to tell her to do a video on Internet 2 as well. I knew her for 2.5 years at that point, and she quickly replied to it. She's a really cool chick. Check her out at SSJ Gushin 4. Next, a video of my very first time I have ever been to an anime convention was made. It was a kaizen that I went to in Bajamon with a group of friends. It was a 2-part series that I actually do have in this channel now in case you would like to see it afterwards. I show off my cute little puppy dogs that month as well. Ah, how cute. And they are way more friendlier than this dog. Later in May, I did a follow-up to that video showing how they have grown since the first video. Too bad we had to give all those puppies away because we couldn't take care of all 6 Labrador dogs that would have been as big as this guy. Now let's get to an interesting fact that happened that month as well. Around this time, the Denox fan site turns 1 year old. And you know what else came back at that time? That's right, Chechi and Joe the Sock came back once again to make hate videos against many of my DenoxSeries videos I made at the time. And you know what's also crazy? He will come back and go constantly throughout the rest of 2009. But this time, a new villain has came to join Joe the Sock to review against me. Please take a look. Around that time, I made my first opening of the DenoxSeries. It will be dubbed Denox Live Season 2. So that's right, everything I talked about before this point was all Season 1 of the Denox series, or Denox Live mainly called at the time. Go! The very first episode of this new season was a video of me showing off the Sony PSP, yeah, back in April 2009. Then I did like sort of a follow-up to the Internet 2 rant video, which is now called ACTA, which stands for the Anti-Counterfeiting Trade Agreement. I may re-upload this one as a Denox classic in case you want to know what I thought about it. Next up is a video of me and 3 of my other friends, Babaneko, Jiri, and Savi, all talking with me about how we do get-togethers where a lot of my friends gather up in my house to play video games and eat pizza. Those were good times. The next video I have uploaded will shock you, because when I went to my very first Comic-Con convention back in May 2009, I actually met this man called Vic Mignoha. Yes, the official Funimation English voice actor of Edward from Fullmetal Alchemist and Yukito from Air 1000 Summer. Listen to how he voiced Edward.
I pick one impression of Edward, he was probably... What do you call it, a bitch squeak?
Very similar, isn't it? And at the same convention, I purchased a Sega Game Gear for $15, which I have reviewed the following week. I was collecting retro handhelds at the time as well. Around the same time too, I review all my projects that I have done in my computer graphics class in my university, a memory of how much I enjoyed the class in the end, but not so much in the beginning. Then I review my childhood memories showing the old days of me when I was a child, and I attended a special ed school in Brooklyn known as Lee School. Good memories from almost 20 years ago now. Wow, I'm old. And to end the first half of the 2009 timeline episode, I reviewed the Game Boy game called Toki Tori. It was a pretty interesting game and loved it besides the fact that Toki can barely jump at all. Yes, the 2009 timeline was so huge in content that it was impossible for me to do it all in one part. Stick tuned to part 2 of the timeline when I go over the rest of 2009, how I started using Sony Vegas, and the introduction of the first official villain of the Denox series, Mystery X. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check my other previous videos as well, and subscribe to the channel for more contents like this. And join our new Facebook community called the DenoxSeries Fan Club, where you can meet new people who are into tech, Nintendo, anime, amiibos, and related. See you there!